Recap from the weekend. Obviously, last time since I saw all of you was we took the Grizz over at Missoula, which is always fun. It was a great night. Anytime we can come away from being over there and come out on top, it's a great feeling. It's one of the toughest environments to play in that we play in for Big Sky Conference play. So, again, I spoke about it last week, but that rivalry is special, and to come out and be up already 1-0 in the Brawl of the Wild Challenge is a nice feeling. So that was great. Following through to UNC on Saturday, it feels like I've relived that game every minute of every day since. And I've just been reviewing the film this morning with Cole and a couple of our athletes, and we played a lot better than we thought we did. They're a very scrappy team, they play really just good volleyball, and we played good volleyball with them for long periods of time. It was just in those critical moments we kind of broke down. In the third set, where the score was most lopsided, we looked for a lineup change in terms of we spun the wheel on our rotation and looked for different matchups. And I didn't like the matchups we had, so I can confidently say next time we play them, I probably won't use those matchups. But we're right there. And I said to the team afterwards, and I say this in most matches we play, we're never as good as we think we are. We're never as bad as we think we are. And, it's one of those things coming out of it for sure. We weren't as bad as we thought we may have been that night walking out of the gym. And we've got some areas to clean up, but the really nice thing is they're all in our control. So we'll get after it.
You mentioned some critical situations or moments that you maybe didn't capitalize on. What were some of those things there?
Yeah, I felt like particularly at the end of the second set, we had a couple of really good looks. There was a swing that Evie Wilson took down the line that I think she'd take back every time. There was, a couple of moments where we just cracked under pressure. The UNC is a team that keeps you under pressure the whole time, and that's not something we'd experienced in a few weeks because, let's face it, when we were over at Missoula for their tournament, we played really well and we didn't experience a lot of pressure. We had Seattle at home, and that was the worst match we've played all year, and I'm just washing that one away. And then, being at Missoula, again, I think there was pressure in the first set, but after that, I don't know if we had a lot of pressure, and we always felt like we outgunned them. And so, playing UNC, great matchup, really good matchup. They've got some big hitters, and I think Ince, their outside, ended up hitting 500 on the night, which is just phenomenal. And you think about every two balls she's hit, she's killing one of them. She really gave us a headache. But when it came back to it, there was some moments there, I think, either we missed a blocking assignment, we missed a swing, or, we could have just been a little bit better with our first contact and it would have gone our way, and it would have been a different outcome in my mind, at least in that set. I can't speak for the whole match, but we feel like we're really close, so it's exciting.
Coach, you look at it, there was one ball in there that it was a tremendous rally, and then they get kind of a cheap tip over. Set number one. And it just kind of seemed, with as not good a volleyball was being played, for that to be the point that kills it,
yeah,
it's kind of deflating for your team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the type of team UNC is. They're relentless. If you're not matching their relentless nature, then they're gonna take you. I don't want to get too graphic, but they're gonna take you, and they're gonna be demoralizing because of that. There's balls that would drop against 9 out of the 11 teams in the conference, but UNC is one of those teams that just doesn't let any ball drop, and it's frustrating to play against, but it's also a great lesson for us. And the beautiful thing is this is week one of conference. We're 1-1 in conference right now, and that's what matters. Week one of conference, and we've just been taught a really good lesson. And our job now is to go and learn from the lessons we've been taught and make the adjustments. And so we'll be addressing that today and this week, and we'll be better for it.
Coach, the first and second set kind of seemed a little bit closer in score than that third one. How would you describe, the girls' reaction to, or how their playing style in that third set, regardless of whether they're down or not?
Yeah, I think there's always things behind the scenes that I'm not privy to talk about. That there's people who aren't well, or there's people who are hurt, or whatever happens. And I think sometimes that happens. Sometimes you give everything you've got, and then and I think I'll take some responsibility for it, because we looked for that matchup change. We're trying to slow down Ince, so we put Hannah Scott on Ince and didn't slow her down at all. And what that meant was that it threw our our system into a bit of, not disarray, but it certainly made it different for what it was in the first 2 sets. So I'm not giving it too much thought, or I don't think the girls are either. So.
You've got 2 teams on different sides of the table coming in here in Idaho and Eastern Washington. What's kind of your mindset going into 2 matches here at Georgia?
I can't wait. It's going to be awesome to be home. I can't wait to be back in front of our fans. Expecting big crowds on Thursday and Saturday night. I've had a lot of people texting me, talking to me, telling me they're going to come. So, if you're planning on coming, get out and get your tickets now, because I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be an exciting moments. Idaho, man, I love playing Idaho. I think Debbie does a great job over there. They're in a unique situation where they graduated their entire starting lineup last year. So this is a team we have no clue about. I'm starting to dive into the film a little bit this morning on them and figure them out. But, I can't wait to take them on. And we feel like every time we play Idaho, we've matched up with them really well. So can't wait to get into them. And then I think, Lindsay at Easton's doing a great job. She's probably where we were 3, 4, 5 years ago. She's taken over a program that she's having to work really hard to establish the culture that she wants. And once she's established that culture, I have no doubt the volleyball is going to clean up. So they're a dangerous team. I think, if I remember correctly, they came in here last year towards the end of the season and took us to 5. And so I'm not thinking anything of their record, because if they come in pumped up and ready to go, hey, they're going to battle just like everybody else does. So, and that's the fun part about Big Sky Volleyball, is that I think you can walk onto the court any night and compete with anybody. So it's going to be a fun couple of matches.
Coach, going back to last Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll go back to last Tuesday any day.
To be able to get the sweep, I know you spoke pretty highly of Coach Lawrence and her team and what they were capable of doing. To be able to go in there, get the sweep in such a hostile environment, kind of what was that atmosphere, that feeling like after the match?
Yeah, you kind of can't beat it. If I'm not going to mess her, I'm going to mince my words. I think if any match matters at a higher level than any other regular season match, it's that one. And to go in there and sweep them, I don't know when the last time we swept them was. It's probably a while back, I'm thinking. Yeah, Tom's given me 3 or 4 or 5 maybe. So 2003, 4 or 5 is the last time we swept them maybe. So, that doesn't speak so much about what happened in the intervening years. It just speaks to how hard it is to go in and beat them. And Coach Lawrence is doing a phenomenal job over there. Similarly to what we've done here, she's changing the culture. She's getting the right young athletes in place, and they're going to be a battle every time we go out. I just feel like we're in a position right now where we have some guns, and we're able to outgun them a little bit. When you have Kelsey White hitting close to 700, and you have Hannah Scott hitting 400, 500 herself, we have options, and it's a pretty beautiful thing to be able to go out and use them.
Rizzo is right on the cusp of the Diggs record, so is that something she's looking forward to, you're looking forward to, or just keeping it out of your mind as you go along here?
Yeah, I mean, you can't not have it in your mind. I think Tom's given us regular updates. How far are we off now, Tom?
You're about 12.
12 digs. So we're anticipating that'll happen on Thursday night, and when it does, I'm really excited for Rizzo to cement her name at the top of the list for Montana State volleyball. I think when we look at the evolution of the program, and you look at what Rizzo and Evie and Sydney have all done, they've been the leaders in turning the corner of the program. And for Rizzo to have the honor of having her name put at the top of a list, I think that's a representation of all 3 of the seniors, if I can say that, because without them, we aren't who we are today. And Rizzo gets a lot of attention, and she's had the good fortune of being healthy, knock on wood, throughout her 4 years, and has been able to, turn up every night. I think she'll reflect on Saturday night and be like, she feels like she left probably a dozen on the court, but that's who she is. She's determined to go out and leave it better than she found it, and she's going to do that, which is pretty exciting. So I think once she hits that milestone, it's going to be great. And then it's just like, how far can she take it? She's pretty excited about trying to beat her own milestone from last year of 600 odd digs for the season. I don't know where she's at right now for the season. I'm imagining 100 or 200. I don't know if you've got... Yeah, mid 200s. So I think she's well on her way. But if there's a more deserving student athlete in the building, point them out to me, because I'd like to shake their hand. This kid is special. I say this at Cat Chat. I said it the last couple of weeks, but for Montana State athletics to recognize what they're witnessing right now, and for the volleyball community in Bozeman and the Montana State volleyball fans to recognize what we're witnessing in Rizzo. I'd like everyone to stop and take a minute and just recognize you're watching something pretty darn special. And the neat part is that we're able to put some pretty special athletes around her this year that makes us that more competitive. So it's pretty cool.